Hi, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Ray. And this time around, we're going to actually go through board games that you can find at Target. Now, part of the reason is a lot of our friends have started to ask us questions about getting into the hobby. And they've been able to name games such as Ticket to Ride, Catan, even Azul. And several of them have those. So what they were looking for was what else is available, easily, readily available, pretty much anywhere. I wish to put a caveat here. So we didn't include those big name games like Codenames, Azul. But also, we live in Alaska, and our Target gets stuff last and possibly half of the stuff. So this is things that we can find in our Target. So that should mean you can get it at any Target.
We literally got on our Target, put in store only, and these were what was available today in our Target that we could walk in and pick up.
So what's the day? September 2020. So
September 27th?
somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. So, okay.
Go ahead.
So this is Evolution. We have 2 copies of Evolution here. This is Evolution, the full game, and then the beginning. And we like both of them, but we've played this with our kids and they enjoy it. These are both available. This is a tableau building in that you put out dinosaurs and you then create, they have babies, they can get eaten, and our kids enjoy it. Really easy to get into, and if you're just getting into the hobby, even if you're not younger, the beginning is a great way to get a little bit meatier game with easier rules and feel like and then if you like it, you can turn around and upgrade to the bigger version.
Being able to evolve your creatures, getting long necks so they can eat more food and first is really huge. That's a good game. I like that one. This is an older version of it, but Jaipur is a 2-player set collecting game. Kind of a little bit of drafting too. There's that tableau in the middle. And what you're trying to do is get sets of goods to get scoring tokens. And it's a 2-player only, but it works incredibly well, and they just had a new reprint. So you also can find this in a lot of game stores. It's very popular, it's pretty quick, and it runs very smoothly. And they, if I remember correctly, they run you through, I think it's 3 rounds, or at least 2 rounds, but depending on the time, you can get through a round in about 10 minutes. So if you're pressed for time, and this works pretty good also as a travel game if you want.
And it's fairly themeless. I mean, it's got a theme, it looks pretty, but the theme is pointless, but you'll still feel enjoyable as you're doing it. This is a game our kids like. This is Dungeon Mayhem, Monster Madness, and this is really just attack each other game, but it's really quick and really easy. Our kids enjoy it. Each of you have your own deck. And your decks do their own special abilities. This is the bigger box. We went and got like a bunch of different versions, but they come with a real basic collection of I think 4 decks. And each deck is pre-made. You don't have to make it. There's no prep work. You just get it out and you play it. And pretty much whoever kills everyone else wins. And it's a take that game, which our kids enjoy, but it's fast enough. It doesn't feel mean, and you don't end up with a lot of crying afterwards. Well, not too much.
Yeah, that one's it's actually really fun if you're in a light mood. This one surprised us. Okay.
Our kids love this one, but we honestly like it.
Yeah. This one, Minecraft Builders and Biomes. When we first got it, we really we got it for the kids, and it turned out to be it's a light to medium weight game. I would say it's medium, on the lower end of the medium weight. But what you're trying to do is actually build up, hence the Minecraft, your various biomes. And you set up your own world, so to speak, and you get points by connecting individual aspects of those. So first round, you're getting points for how many of the largest area of deserts do you have. Second one, it's have you connected different types of buildings, and then you get points for that. Or, and the last one, I think it's like animals or something.
There's 3 different layers. The thing is, you know what the layers are, so as you get better at the game, you can plan your strategy ahead. And so our older son, really, you can see him planning round 3 and round 1, and that's how you maximize points. He also can set it up himself. We came in one day and he'd already had the game set up. So it's really easy and quick to set up.
And you are moving around, and you get to fight creepers and get more weapons and equipment that help you. So, I mean, it's a great game. You also have some really cool, chunky wooden pieces. Like that, like the cubes for resources, really, really neat.
It takes a fair bit of space to play it. You have to spread out the whole grid, but really easy and quick to do.
These are the resources, chunks of wood.
Yes, and it comes in a really cool thing, and the scoring mechanism really cool because when one layer's done, so you get to kind of pick when it does based on what you pull.
Yep.
And you really see that as you get good, that, oh, I'm going to take this one out of this corner so I don't have to score yet.
Yep. We talked a little bit longer about that one, but that one's kind of a hidden gem that I wanted to make sure I spent some time on.
Yep. This is another IP game that's actually really good. This is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. And if you like Harry Potter, and I do, this is really enjoyable. And the thing is it's a deck building game, which means that you start with a deck of 10 cards and you buy cards and add to them as you go through. And by the end, you have a nice big deck. You've gained skills and spells that then you get to use as they come up, and you keep, discarding your cards and shuffling them and drawing a new card. What's neat about this, though, is it's a bit of what's called a legacy game in that you start with just box 1 open, and then when you beat box 1, you open box 2, and there's 7 boxes just like there's 7 books, and they go with the books. You get the characters for each new book in each one, so if you've read the books, that's really enjoyable to see it progress. And game 1 is super easy. The rules are, I think, probably a 6-year-old could play them.
I would definitely, if you have experience, start with book 3 like they recommend.
And we did. We started with decks 1 through 3 when we did it. But if you were reading through the books with your kids, it would be a great way. Okay, when you finish book 1, we play box 1. When you finish book 2, we play box 2. And so if this is something that's interesting, it's 2 to 4 players. There is an expansion for it, and a new one's just coming out too. And the expansion adds a 5th player. You can play Luna. So there's some really cool ones. And as you go up, just like the books get harder, the game gets harder. Yeah. But because it levels up, it never feels like you ever have to learn that much at any one time.
Right. My next one. My son, when he saw that we were doing this video, said, "Dad, didn't we see Jurassic Park Danger at Target? It's got to be on the list." I don't want to disappoint him. This is actually a really fun game. It's one versus all. Pretty quick. The dinosaurs are just trying to eat as many people as they can. The people are trying to leave. They've got tasks that they have to complete, and it's all the characters from Jurassic Park. What's funny is the dinosaurs typically have to eat 3 of you. You got to get 2 or 3 off the island. And when one of your people dies, you're not out. You get a new people. You get a new person to actually try and make the run. It's card action selection, card based game. But man, it turns out pretty good. Fortunately, our 10-year-old wants to always be the dinosaurs, and he forgets things like strategy towards the end because he's running around with dinosaurs. So.
And the dinosaur meeples are pretty nice.
Yep.
Which is part of the fun of that one.
Yep.
For him, at least. You'll notice both that and in Minecraft Biomes are Ravensburger, and their games are always good.
Yep.
This is Disney Villainous, and if you like Disney, these are all the Disney villains. So, like Captain Hook and stuff. And so you get to play Prince John from Robin Hood, because I love Robin Hood. And you get to play them, and the decks are very different for each character. The one thing really hard about this as a teaching tool is that you have to actually know how to play all the decks if you want to teach someone, and that's the one problem we've had with our kids is that I can't help you with your deck based on my deck because they're so different. But that's also the fun of it is that they're so different. And there's a bunch of expansions. They just came out with the Marvel version of this as well. They're not compatible, which kind of sucks. But these are all, I was in
Yeah.
Target today, and they have both this, all the expansions, and the Marvel version. So if you'd rather not play Disney villains, you can play Marvel villains. But you've got a tableau in front of you, and you're just really trying to beat up on the hero or heroine, just like you would in a Disney film.
Yeah. All right, this is a new one, and we've played it several times. 2-player only so far, pandemic going on. But Panam the game is a worker placement financial game. So you're actually trying to get money to buy stocks in Panam. So this is before they go bankrupt. My background's in aviation. All of my friends are mocking me, will mock me about this game and go, well, they go bankrupt, so what's the point? But this is a medium weight game. 2-player, it's good. I actually think everybody seems to say 3 to 4 is better, and if we can get a couple of plays with that, I expect it to be. But I would say that this is one of our best purchases at Target, and I think it was $35.
It wasn't that expensive, although they had to pull it out of the back room for us. Thankfully, the app knows what's in there, even if they don't know what's in their back room.
And your goal to win is to get bought up by Panam, which is really a reverse on a lot of these. So it's got an event deck, then you make your choices, then you get money, then you buy stock, and all the while Panam's buying all of your routes. It's a very interesting twist, and I really enjoy this one a lot. So
this is Splendor, and this is much like Jaipur. This is completely themeless. You're just collecting resources and sets to buy different cards, and you're trying to match up what the nobles want so that then you get the most points. But the pieces are just awesome. I just love the really chunky. There's just something about these really chunky pieces that feel really good.
These are really close.
The nobles
to
themselves, yeah. But really easy, quick game, really easy to teach. And it's a really good app too, but there's just something about the pieces that's really nice on the table. But if you want to try this out, the app works really smoothly. Yeah. We play the app on our tablet all the time. So.
Okay. This next one, a lot of people will ignore because they see it as an IP game. And you'll notice a lot of these are IP games at Target because that draws the attention. Horrify, I would say, is one of the most fun I've had with a co-op game. I've played a lot of co-op games. Hot Shots, Pandemic,
Freedom,
but this one is just fun. It takes you back to the old 50s movies. The monsters are all the old Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and you're trying to defeat them. And each one needs to be defeated differently. But it is a co-op game, so you're all working together against the game. And especially with Halloween coming up, this will get played quite a bit. And it's fun. It can be hard. A lot of co-ops can be hard, but I think this one tends to be one of the easier ones. What do you think?
Yeah, and I'm not a horror person. I never watch any of them. They give, even the old cheesy ones that shouldn't give me nightmares, I don't watch any of them. Otherwise, he'll be up all night because I had a nightmare. But I found this fun. You're just running around chasing monsters. And the theme, it feels very thematic. You feel in the moment. And it's going to be a lot of fun playing in October.
Yep.
This Sagrada, this is, if you played Azul, if you've heard of Azul, it has a similar feel, but it's dice. It's very puzzly. You're trying to lay out these numbered dice in a certain way, and it's a really beautiful picture when you're done. The idea is it's stained glass. I mean, is the theme all that important? No, but you do really get that pretty feeling with all the different colored dice. And it's a very easy, puzzly little game. Again, not hard to learn and pick up, and the dice are really good quality. Let's see if I can find some dice. Yeah, so you can see all these different colored dice, and when they all come together and as you roll them, you're trying to match up the different windows and get them in a certain order. But really easy to play. It's easy to just kind of almost have conversations. You're passing around the dice and going, because you roll them once and then you're picking as you go. It's dice drafting. So you roll once and then you're taking turns picking these dice based on what you need. Well, as it's passing around, it's an easy game to just be visiting and having a good time with. You don't have to have a lot of concentration. Yeah, you have an overall strategy, but you don't have to feel like you're constantly paying attention to what's going on with it.
Though you should pay attention, because I have a tendency to put them in the wrong spot, find out later, and then become sad.
And then he gets negative points.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. The last one is a heftier one. I like the adventure games. I actually also like medium weight Euros. So ones that are economic. But I really like adventure games. And Gloomhaven is a huge adventure game. And I've played the full game, but it takes a long time to set up. It takes a lot to keep things going. And I liked it a lot, but there's no way it was going to get to the table as often. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, is Gloomhaven. Now, some people are calling it Gloomhaven Light. I disagree. It's Gloomhaven, streamlined for setup and play, but it still has a lot of the feel of Gloomhaven. And this, I will tell you, not a light game. It's got a lot of stuff in here, and there are certain puzzles. Best part about this one, though, is the tutorial system, especially if you want to get into a card-based, so you use cards for combat and actions, card-based adventure game. This has one of the best tutorials I've ever seen. It walks you through. Do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay, good. You're done with your first adventure. Now, do this again. Add this. Worked out really good. I like it a lot. Gloomhaven's great. So is Jaws of the Lion. And this is at Target. I think this is the most expensive out of them all. I think it's $55. Everything else is pretty light. So those are our Target games.
Yep, you can go check them out today if you want to find something you don't want to, either you don't have a local game store or you just don't want to go to your local game store. These give you some options that you should be able to readily find.